Have you ever considered moving to Spain, setting up a business, and even refurbishing a property, but you don't know where to start? Well, you're in the right place. This is a Nusun Network, and I'm Cassidy, the owner of Nusun Realty here in Marbella, and we help international buyers like you find their next dream home. Today I'm joined by Emma Arthur, who has done all three things. We're going to be diving into the detail of this, and you will know if you have got what it takes. Let's dive in. Welcome, Emma.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, so Emma, just for me and for the audience, can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what it is you do, and what brought you to Marbella?
My name's Emma, and from Coatbridge in Scotland. I have a family, I've got 3 kids, and I moved to Marbella around about 2 years coming up now, and I've just got myself premises to open up a hair, beauty and wellness salon with a bit of coffee and matcha going on at the same time.
Excellent. So you've moved from the outskirts of Glasgow, and now you're over here, you're starting this business, you're setting it up, going through the processes. I think it's important because a lot of people like the idea of doing this, especially with the weather and stuff back home, and it makes a big change when you're always thinking about coming over, getting into the sun, but then it's like, well, what do I do to get to that point? And you know, I think you've also got a salon, back in Glasgow.
I do, yeah.
That's right.
So, God, before Brexit, if only we knew. How easy it would be, the freedom, and then all of a sudden it felt so difficult to do. So I started off buying a holiday home in Alicante.
Right.
And I thought that would have kind of suppressed that sort of want to go and live in Spain, because I've got 3 children and I'm divorced, and the father of the kids lives really close to me in Scotland. So the thought of actually been able to get to Spain, it was just out of reach. But I guess everybody got kind of stuck with COVID, didn't they? That's right. I think that's changed a lot of people's lives. So during that time, I just thought to myself, I have to just go for it. So that's when I really started to get my head down and look into the process of getting myself here and how I was going to do it. And I actually kept hitting brick walls every time I would phone. You know, you could get these people, you could get like 20-minute telephone conversations with like these relocate people, and they'll help you. And a lot of times when I would put my details in, they would just respond and say, we're not even doing the 20-minute call with you.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was just like, oh my God, I'm never going to get there. But the holiday home in Alicante, I realised in the winter where it was, it wasn't going to work for us going forward. So I sold that. And I started coming down to the Costa del Sol to look at the coast, because that seems to be the 365 days place to be, isn't it, really? For the sun, for lifestyle, just everything seems to work down here, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does. I think it's funny because I mean a lot of people or clients that I get, some of them are saying, oh, I'm looking at Alicante, or I'm looking at Torrevieja, or these types of places around there. Because of the price point's a little bit cheaper.
Absolutely,
in comparison to here. But the issue I think you've got there in comparison to here is that, as you say, it can be quite dead at certain points of the year. Whereas I feel like the areas here, it's always busy. There's always things happening. You know, don't get me wrong, the beaches will be a bit quieter in the winter, maybe, if you know, but in terms of lifestyle, the towns, etc., are all busy, the bars are open, the restaurants, because people don't just come here on holiday, they live here, they work here.
Life is definitely here, and I really noticed that difference between Alicante and Murcia. Where my holiday home was right in between, and honestly we would go over, even when it got to like October time and we'd go out for a meal on a Saturday night, we'd be the only people in the restaurant. So I knew that I was going to have to come down to this coast, but I understand that a lot of people, that I ended up doing that direction again because of the price point. But when you actually get to the point where you're like wanting to life and have your kids, and I hate to say it because I always try to immerse myself in like the Spanish culture, but there is a lot of Brits here, so to bring a family, it just gives you a bit of home for the children as well, and especially if you don't speak the language, there's just so much going on. So yeah, I highly recommend this particular area. I would say for me, between Mihas, maybe right down to Estepona, that was like my kind of pocket where I was looking.
Yeah, okay.
I like the idea of being close to the airport as well. I think that's really good for people.
Yeah.
If you're like a fellow Scot and you're wanting to fly, well, I guess you can fly everywhere from Malaga, but just being, if you commute a lot,
Yeah.
it's so easy to get to the airport as well.
That is definitely. So you've mentioned about you moving, setting up your business here.
Yeah.
So did obviously we've just spoke about Alicante and some of the differences there compared to here, and the busyness. Is that one of the reasons why you thought it might be good to set a business up here, or would you have done that anyway?
Do you know what? I didn't have any intentions of coming here to set up a business. I really didn't. Living it in Scotland with my kind of lifestyle was so difficult that I personally find the weather. I used to actually speak to people, like moan and moan about the weather, and all my friends would be like, it doesn't really bother me, that the grey sky, the rain, and I've got such an outdoor lifestyle. So when it got to the point of me looking for visas to come here, I was coming on a non-lucrative visa, and back in Scotland I've still got a salon, which so fortunately for me I get a bit of an income from.
Yeah.
So I was in the predicament that I could come here and not have to find a job straight away. So yeah, I managed to get a non-lucrative visa. So again, I wasn't working at all for the first year. And then I had another conversation with my lawyer, and she said to me that I could now start to go for like Autonomo.
Okay.
And I thought, right, well, now I can work. What am I going to do? But I've been self-employed in Scotland like since I left school pretty much.
Yep.
So the thought of being employed, it just doesn't even register in my head. So I thought I'm just going to start putting myself out there and speaking to people and seeing where it takes me. And out a dog walk one day, meet a guy taking a photo outside these premises. Okay. And I always really like the street, and I've always just, when you're just out while walking, I'm just thinking if I did have a business, I'd like it to be here. And it happened to be on that street. This man's taking a photo of his building, and I said to him, are you selling that? And he said, I've just bought it. I've only had it a week.
Okay.
He said, I'll rent you it. So I was like, right, fine, show me inside. So he took me inside, and it was an absolute mess. So I was like, I'm not going to renovate this and like pay you rent, blah, blah, blah. I said, will you sell me it? So of course, 15 minutes later, he's agreed to sell me it, and we made an appointment. Yeah, and I bought it. So from there, I feel like I'm quite spontaneous that way. I feel like I've had too much time to think.
Yep.
I wouldn't do it. So I just went with it. Went away, like, when I was sleeping that night, and I woke up during the night, I'm like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? And I just thought, no, you've done it. Go and sign and just roll with it. So I have. So I've kind of like fallen back into it.
Right, okay. Okay.
But I actually loved my life back in Scotland. I loved work. I loved working in the salon. So the only thing was the lifestyle and the weather for me. So I'm doing the same thing here all of a sudden. But it's what I know, and I'm good at it.
And I think there's a good sociable element to having a salon. Different people coming in.
Yeah.
You've just came over here, so you're going to get to meet a lot of new people and stuff. And I think just for your mental health.
Yeah, definitely. And coming with the kids at the age of my children, because they're teenagers, I focus so much on them being happy that I haven't really sought out friendships myself. Yeah. And I really miss that in meeting people and hearing their stories. And because it's so transient here and people are from all walks of life and cultures, everyone is so interesting. Yeah. So it's really nice. I'm really looking forward to getting into that. And when you get in a treatment room with people, you get all their dirty little secrets and all the chat and the gossip of what's going on. So I'm looking forward to that. And they'll form bonds and friendships that I've not yet had yet.
Exactly.
And the kids are great now. So I feel like now the kids are, in kind of my opinion, settled and formed friendships. It's now time for me as well.
Yeah, and I think it's good. Obviously you mentioned, you're going to be potential when you get this up and running, you're going to have to be dealing with it. Yeah. As well, and that's going to take up a good bit of your time. But I think you don't mind as much when you've got a nice blue sky. Yeah. At the end of it, you can go. People out a little bit later here, they're eating a little bit later
Yeah.
here. It's a wee bit of a different culture. You've still got that time, so you're working hard, but you can also play hard a little bit.
Oh my God.
But you've got that, or you
Yeah.
can go to the beach, you can go nice walks, you can,
Yeah.
you've got, I think it's more
So
open.
from Glasgow, you can fly your dogs over too,
Yep.
in the cargo. So I've got 2 dogs, so I'll still manage to get up in the morning. I'll get up about 6, go and watch the sunrise,
Right.
have a coffee with my doors open, sit outside. Eating outside and drinking coffee outside is just like such a treat when you're from Scotland, isn't it? So being able to do that and then go into work for a few hours or not a few hours, a day's work, but just finishing. And you know, when you finish and you're walking home, and I have to remind myself, because particularly in the summer, when you see people with that beer and like it's sweating down the glass and they're so relaxed, and the wife's sitting there with her glass of wine, you have to remind yourself to not drink every day, because it is so tempting just to have that glass of wine when you finish.
It is.
Yeah, although I do it on a weekly basis regularly. I just try not to do it every day.
Every day.
Yeah. But I will be looking forward to, like, just when you finish work, it's like you've got another whole day ahead of you.
You have. It's funny you should say that. When I first came over here, probably the first couple of months, you know, I was just at the beach. I was having a few beers, and and it's because you're getting swept up, and everyone's on holiday, and then it took me a while to go, right, Chris, I'm not here on holiday. I'm here to live.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I lived right on the beach.
Yeah.
Right on the beach, and it was bars under me. So I stayed there for about a year, and I thought I need to move now. So I went a little bit further back.
Yeah.
Just to get away and separate myself, because as you say, it's easy to get yourself into that lifestyle.
It is. And speaking of that, I know that you and I live quite close to each other, so I've now moved to Alveria, and I live on the beach. And Alveria is like, it's about 10 minutes in the car from Marbella town centre, so it kind of feels like you're a bit in like a bit of a suburbia, if you like. Doesn't it? It's a bit more kind of green, there's trees, everyone's a bit more relaxed, it's a little bit quieter. I know in the summer it gets a bit crazy, but definitely it's got that calm to it. However, Nicky Beach is there, La Plage is there, so when you're walking the dogs and you hear the music and you look up and everybody's gorgeous, sometimes you're like, just go in, just have one.
Just one.
You do, don't you? And it just depends what mood you're in, if you're going to like just turn back or just take yourself in for one. But it's even just walking by and watching the people having fun, it's just the energy is so good, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's funny as well, because you've mentioned about the people, but you've also mentioned about the different type of people you meet here.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting. I think from a networking perspective, here, this area, Marbella and the surrounding, is really good for networking. Everyone
wants network, they really do. And I think it's because you come over, like you're a needle in a haystack when you first arrive. You know nobody, you go on Facebook, you write a comment on Facebook, like you ask a question, and all of a sudden the thread is like becomes so toxic and horrible, and you're just like, oh my God, I shouldn't even have asked. Like, and then every so often someone will write something really nice. So I do think Facebook, which I didn't have until I moved here actually, but you do get a lot of information from it.
Yeah, you do.
But actually speaking to people, and sometimes I think this might, and I might get slaughtered for this, but there is a little bit of a mentality in the UK that people keep their cards closer to their chest.
Yeah.
And is it called gatekeeping?
Yeah, I mean, they're guarded.
Yeah, but here when you speak to people, they'll be, oh my God, you need to hook up with her. Come to this event. You should meet this lady. She runs that magazine, or someone. You know, people put you in the right direction, and it's nice. And once you get there, and you start to network with the right people, it's like the floodgates open, isn't it?
That's right.
And it just all starts to come to you. But I am at times sociable when it's in my comfort zone, but a lot of times I can be quite reclusive and quiet.
Yeah.
So you sometimes just have to throw yourself into it and immerse yourself.
You do. I mean, the good thing about here is there's loads of like entrepreneurial events, networking evenings, dinners, and loads of stuff. But you need to sort of have a quite high energy sometimes for it. Yeah. And just, as you say, push yourself out there. But I think it pays. It pays for itself when you do that. Yeah, even like in Alveria, I actually don't go to it, but there's a CrossFit gym. Yep. And I met one of the guys that goes,
And he said he gets quite a lot of networking, even just doing that, going to the gym.
Yeah.
So there's loads of ways to do it without even, like, you don't necessarily have to go to these events and drink and become sociable. That there is lots of, there's lots going on.
Through fitness.
Yeah. And a lot of people do, like, they're starting like the run clubs, aren't they? So if you
loads of paddle going on here as well.
Big.
Massive.
Yeah, I'm terrible at it, but I really enjoy it.
Pretty bad at it myself, to be honest. And golf, there's loads of golf. You're probably not a golfer, I don't know. But
I'm not a golfer, but
golf's massive here as well for networking.
Yeah, I'm like, and Scotland's known for golf, isn't it? I'm like, why are you guys golfing in Scotland?
I know.
When you can do it in the sunshine.
So just going to your business then.
Yeah.
So you've got the premises.
Yep.
You're doing the refurbishment.
Yeah.
How is that in terms, even just the process of dealing with buying that property? Because normally when I talk to people that are on here, it's mainly like residential properties, and it's so for commercial we've never really had anyone on that's purchased a commercial property and having to do with the refurb and all of that stuff. But how have you found that honestly, process of getting that and where it is now?
I do things in life, one of my friends describes me honestly as arse from elbow, but it always just works. So genuinely, I had done zero research into buying this. That is how I bought it, from a guy that I met in the street taking a photo outside. I hadn't been like, in my head, I thought if I did get into work, I would maybe go and rent a space in like maybe somewhere like where these premises are, where someone owns it. What do you call that? Like serviced.
Like a service type, service commercial building or something.
I had kind of been looking at that a little bit. Anyway, you just speak to people. So the guy that I bought the premises from, he's got a couple of restaurants.
Right,
so he was like, come and see my lawyer. I had a lawyer obviously from when I bought my apartment, and her company did like accounts, and they did visas for people. She renewed my visa, so you can get in some of the lawyers' offices a bit like they do everything. You can go and meet your accountant and stuff. So by the time I'd spoken to her, she hooked me up with like turning self-employed. The accountant was in there. The guy that I bought the building from, he like I said was in the restaurant business, so he even took me actually to change the water supply over into my name and electrics, just like the simplest things that you can't do because I don't know the language properly yet. I did get a little bit of help, and if you ask people, they'll help you. So I've been just asking as I go along the way.
Right.
I did get a British builder to do the work for me, and again, it's just purely because of the language, and it was recommended. So, and he's worked a lot on the coast as well, so I asked the builder a lot of questions about like where to get things from and kind of like what to do next. So, but most of the people that I've gotten, for example, like the windows going in, he's British as well. There is a bit of a community if you're getting stuff done, and it's no disrespect to the Spaniards, and some of them do speak the language, but I don't know what it is. We just end up kind of gravitating, and especially when I meet somebody from Scotland, you want to give them the business, and you want to work with them.
Of course, I think so. Basically, what you're saying though is a lawyer's really important.
Massively, yeah.
And also trying to get someone who can maybe speak your language. From if it's a builder, and you can start to get recommendations. Yeah,
and as well, see, if you're going to your lawyer, it's ideal if they speak English and Spanish as well. Like I said, I'm like trying to learn Spanish, but not, and I'm doing okay, like to do my food shopping in my restaurant, but not sitting down doing some legal terms. So you might end up having to hire like an interpreter, which can get quite costly. But sometimes you only need them for an hour, and they can be well worth it. But it is good just to have someone that's got. You
can ask the questions.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what else I find really difficult? When you were getting like your TIE card.
Yes.
And making appointments for that. You go to the police station. Like someone said to me, you turn up to the police station for your NIE, your TIE, sorry, and you turn up and they're like, no, you need to make an appointment online, and then it's like
a process.
But you don't even know what buttons to click.
No.
Anything like that. So just to have a lawyer that can help you with the simplest things as well, that you could do no problem at home.
Yeah, I went through a lawyer as well, and they done it all for me. And they just say, Chris, be here at this time.
Yeah.
Fill this form in,
Yeah.
You know, and it really, it just, if I,
Yeah.
it'd have been a very difficult process
See-
and really
see,
stressful process
definitely,
if I'd never done it.
and doing the visas, because you go on the immigration's website. I personally could not do that myself. I wouldn't be in Spain if I was trying to do that myself. So once you find the right person, for example, lawyer or one of these agents, when my first visa was through a company that just solely did visas,
Okay.
and they idiot proof it for you.
Yeah.
So they are worth every penny you spend with them if you're serious about wanting
And
to
if you
move
want it
here.
to actually get passed as well.
Absolutely. Listen, and everybody's using ChatGPT, and I do use it for things, and I did try and use it to flip my visa from non-lucrative to self-employed, and I did get so far.
Mm-hmm.
But see, when it came to making the appointments with immigrations,
Yeah.
that's when I phoned the lawyer, and the lawyer actually, when I took the paperwork to her, she looked at me and she went, "You've used ChatGPT," and I was like, and she went, "You still need us."
Okay.
And I was like, So you just go and bite the bullet and pay for it. That is a really big bit of advice if you want to do it.
Yeah. And how have you been finding the process so far of even just getting the building to where it is? I mean, what position would you say it's in just now? Is it almost ready? Are you kind of at the start?
No, it felt like I only took it on in January, and it's the 1st of April. So I've only had it for 3 months.
Oh, okay.
But we were going to hit the ground running with it. But of course, there is things that can slow down in Spain as well. So the first few weeks in January is like their Christmas, isn't it? So
Of
like
course.
that's a washout.
Three Kings and everything.
Yeah, and then the builders, they do take on other jobs as well at the same time. So it felt really slow in the beginning. And then now I've had like we've got quite far in the last week and a half. And then, so it goes in waves.
Mm-hmm.
But I reckon I'm hoping to be open in May, so I've got like 4 weeks to do it.
Okay, wow.
But I'll tell you what I've not even done yet is look to see what licenses and stuff that I need for actually opening. So
Right.
that is something that I need to write an email. But now it's the Easter weekend, so
Yeah.
again, just usual, fly by the seat of my pants, and just start asking more people questions. But I feel like sometimes there's so much to do
Yeah.
that I just need to start, and every time I'll just like maybe hit a little hurdle and we'll just get over it. So I haven't got this whole plan of exactly how I know everything's going to work and happen, but it will always, anything that you get stuck with, it'll get fixed.
I would recommend you deal with the licensing
Yeah,
pretty soon.
now.
The reason I'm saying that is a friend of mine, he's got a cafe in Puerto Banús,
Yeah,
and he had to sign like something every year apparently,
yeah,
and he just never signed it. He forgot about it. It was still in the letter was still in his car, and it turned out that was for the license to continue selling hot drinks,
oh no way, right?
and he basically can't do it for a full year.
You're joking.
No, he's got to. He cannot sell any hot drinks it's either hot drinks or hot food.
Oh my gosh, God, that could close your business, couldn't
Well,
it?
I mean, he's got another business on top of it, which is something else.
Yeah,
But yeah, so that was just purely just not signing this form.
yeah,
So maybe just
yeah.
check it.
Listen, it's just how it's like, don't
It'd be a
do
shame, where
don't
you
do
are.
this at home kind of chat. It's just how I end up. Honestly, it's how I roll in life, and I should be more organised with things like that. But see, when I've been in Scotland for 45 years and I've ran a business for 20 odd years there, so you just naturally know, and when you're in business you tend to get friends that are in it as well, so
Yeah.
you just phone your pal,
Aye.
and they'll just tell you what to do. So yeah, and I'm sure some things are different here, but I'm
Yes.
always like, how hard can it be? It'll
No,
work out.
it'll figure itself out.
It will.
So you've got that. You're hoping to open in May.
Yeah.
But you mentioned to me as well, you've got other things that you're doing.
Yeah, so again, I'm a personal trainer as well. I hadn't even mentioned that. So in Scotland in the morning times, I would personal train my clients,
Okay.
and then I'd go into the salon. So I'm kind of like everything wellness.
Yeah.
So when I moved here, and I was really missing people from Scotland and just kind of being around ladies, because was my life, just being around females all the time, and you just get so much energy and fun, and as you can imagine. So I thought, I'm going to set up these wellness retreats.
Okay.
So I went and found this venue last year, every year I'm going to, well, so far I've changed the venue. This is my second year. So I found a venue, put on Instagram, because I've still got my client base at home, just saying, who wants to come to Spain? We're going to have a weekend of wellness retreat.
Oh, nice.
And I managed to get 10 people to book up on,
Wow.
and I'd only done it in the January, advertised it for a March retreat.
Fantastic.
So ladies come over, we just have a weekend of doing mat work, Pilates, meditation, eating healthy foods. We go and do coastal walks, we go and do ocean dips, and it's really, really nice. And do you know what? It's almost, I don't want to say it reminds me of like a wellness type hen do, you know, it's so fun. If you want a glass of wine, you can still have a glass of wine with your dinner. It's not like, it's not one of these like deep, intensive
detox type thing.
No, it's just getting away from mum life, getting away from work, just coming and spending some. Do you know why I've actually done it as well? Because I was so miserable in Scotland and moved here as well. I actually can't see why people are still living the way they live. I felt like I was existing there. I'm like, everything was just so grey and dull. And no matter what people say, if they're happy in Scotland or not, when the sun shines in Scotland, everybody is out of control, like excited. You can't get a loaf of bread. You can't get like
barbecues and all that stuff's away.
Everybody gets like, you can't get in the beer gardens. There's guys with their tops off. Do you know, at 9 a.m. So I'm just like, I need these women to come and experience like a bit of my life. So that's actually the reasons for it. You know, just trying to get people to just come and enjoy the weather and just absorb a bit of the culture. And since this is like my second year coming up, 2 ladies already with their families are now in the process of relocating.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. So
and it's quite funny, but I know a guy that sells property here.
No.
It's me, of course it's me. So
I'll put you in touch with them.
You should. I'll happily help them through the process.
Do you know, people do, and I think there's something about being from Scotland or the North anyway, and the Irish, we all sort of like, I think we're quite trustworthy bunch in my opinion, and a lot of people, I don't know, you want to kind of give people a turn that's from your own country, don't you? When you meet up with them, and you kind of know that they'll understand you.
Exactly.
Well, what you need.
I think even for me, understanding the accent.
Can be not just the needs.
Not just the needs, the accent, and I think it helps as well. It's quite funny actually. I had clients over from Glasgow.
Yeah.
And they might hear this, but it's quite funny anyway. So they're like construction guys, right? They've got a construction business.
Yeah.
So they don't really slow down the Glasgow broad Glaswegian accent. And we had a presentation, and the girl that was running the presentation showing them this new development on the screen.
Wow, right.
And she was Dutch, and I'm Scottish. The guys are Scottish. They're asking questions. She didn't understand what they were saying. I had to interpret. I had to interpret for them, and they were like, "Chris, this is so embarrassing that
I know
she doesn't understand me, but you from the same area as me's having to." But I think when you live here, you've really got to slow down, because
you do.
It can be difficult.
You do, and I notice that when I go home, I speak really clearly and I speak really slowly when I'm talking to people, but before the cameras were rolling, you and I were like in full chat, weren't we? Flow. I know when we were saying that, we're just going to have to bring it back.
Slow it down.
I know, but you do, as soon as you meet someone, you can get right back into it, can't you? When I go back home and I'm like in the queue in the supermarket, and the woman at the checkout starts talking, like we are full banter between each other.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of your businesses, just going back to that.
Yeah.
So you've got your wellness.
Yeah.
Are you still going to be doing your PT stuff as well here?
Yeah, so I still personal train as well. I've got a couple of clients. Just so happens, again, I tend to do things in my life and business that works for me at my age. So most of my clients are 40 plus. They were in Scotland as well.
Yeah.
But because the lifestyle's so good here, the people that you meet that are quite a lot older than me are so much healthier and fitter than they are, again, because lifestyle and stuff in Scotland, they don't tend to keep as well. So some of my clients here are in their 70s.
Okay, wow.
I've got one client who's 84, still lives in one of these big giant houses in Alveria. She still goes and plays golf. She still drives her car.
Brilliant.
So my client base is a little bit older. I've got another client. That particular client is English. Another client I've got is Irish. She's 78.
Wow.
I go around and personal train her. And these ladies are here and they've moved to retire here and their kids are still in their UK. So like people are coming here a lot of people do come to retire, don't they?
Yeah.
But they've totally got it going on. They've got like, I actually find because so many people do come to retire, the communities that they go to are really big, like the church, the golf
They've
course.
got better social lives than me.
Yeah, they are out eating all the time and they know all the places to go.
They do.
Where you're getting, because everybody thinks Marbella is expensive, and it is, but it's as expensive as how you want it to be, isn't it? So you can go out for a really high-end meal, but you can also just go for the menu del dia, can't you? And it's like €12.
Exactly.
So these guys know what they're doing.
They know what inside out. And what so how would people get in touch with you for example, if they want about your beauty business? What's the name of it?
Yeah, okay, so the retreats that I run are called the Marbella Wellness Retreat, and that's where I run all my sort of wellness stuff. Everything's fitness, all the nice places you can go to eat good foods, like vegan restaurants, things like that. Just anything that's wholesome, that runs on that. And then the salon's going to be called Esme's, yep. So again, I only do things via TikTok and Instagram. I'm not native on the computer, but I know how to work those platforms. So I just advertise through them, Facebook as well. So yeah, Esme's, I will get a website for that and like the booking system and everything. I need to try and do a little bit of
Facebook, Instagram page and stuff. Yeah,
I need to learn kind of how to. I'll need to speak to Google or something. I want it to be able to come up on Google searches. You know, when you every time you go on holiday or you type in such and such near me. Yeah. So I want to be able to come up quite high on that, which I'm not sure how to do, but I'm guessing once I phone somebody or...
they'll be able to help. There's SEO specialists and everything.
Yeah, so that's not my remit, so I'll definitely get a bit of help with that. But people right now contact me and book in all the wellness